I do need to talk about my Lions just because this podcast has four main interests. And I haven't talked about my Michigan State Spartans at all because they didn't even play, and there's not much to talk about. Not much to talk about on the field with the Lions. They got crushed by the Titans this weekend. The only thing on the field that was of note was probably our fifth or sixth string cornerback, Alex Myers, kind of made headlines because he was completely destroyed by a stiff arm by Derrick Henry. I'm not sure if you saw that highlight, but it was one of the most devastating stiff arms. Just he made him look like a child, just throw him on the ground. It was to the point where somebody changed his Wikipedia page like moments after. I was listening to Detroit radio when I was out for a walk, not watching the game, but they had seen that it was already updated to say Alex Myers, cornerback for the Detroit Lions, born April 20th, 1996, died December 20th, 2020, is currently buried at the 17-yard line of Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's awesome.
It was so great. So at least I get some laughter from my Lions because they provide very, very little else to be entertaining. The only other thing that was entertaining about that game is it was revealed on Monday morning that the Lions ran a fake punt at one point in the game, and it seemed like kind of a good idea that they were down 14, I think, and it was I believe it was the fourth quarter, but they ran a fake punt. It didn't work. It was like a long, I don't know, I forget how many yards they needed to gain. I think they came 1 or 2 yards short on the fake. So it almost worked. But the question is, if it had worked, would we have ever found out that call was not made by head coach Darrell Bevell? That call was made by special teams coach Braden Coombs.
And he just decided to call it without checking with the interim head coach.
Indeed, he did. And for that, he was immediately fired Monday morning.
Well, that's what he deserves. Yeah.
So the Lions had a special teams coach go rogue on their head coach and just called a fake punt because he could. Like, I don't know how the logistics of how Lions plays are called, but how does the special team coach override a call by the head coach and get the special teams to run a fake when the head coach did not want that to happen?
Hey, boys, huddle up over here. Don't tell the big guy over there we're going to do the fake punt now. So whatever he says, just do the fake punt.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I don't know if that's insubordination just on the coach or the whole team. It's just hilarious. Like, only the Lions could have that kind of situation arise and have it be exposed. It's possible that shit happens all the time, but I've never heard of a coach going rogue and actually having a play run that the head coach did not want to have happen, but that happened, and the reason came out very quickly. Unfortunately for the Lions, that Braden Coombs was kind of a hotshot name, young coaching name that you heard around the league might be a potential head coach down the road. And, not that I think he's in his 30s or something, not that necessarily the Lions would be, they are looking for a head coach, not that they'd be looking for somebody like that this soon, but down the road. But, maybe they had somebody in the pipeline that could be the next big thing, but somehow he had no respect for anything to do with the organization and just went rogue and was fine. He probably wanted to get fired is another theory that's out there that
maybe.
I mean, you have to think there'd be some kind of repercussions if you just run your own fucking play. So it's hard to say.
Maybe if it worked, that was his audition for head coach.
Yeah, well, it was a good. If they had made the first down, that's the question. We'll never know.
We'll never know if they make the first down. Maybe Bevel's out and
yeah. Well, Bevel's out one way or the other, but yeah, maybe this would have never have come to light. So at least if the Lions are going to be as pathetic as they always are, at least they're entertaining in new and interesting ways that I could never have guessed would be a news story coming out this week. That unreal. So